Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Sunday night live stream. Today is Sunday, April 27th, here in Chicago, Illinois. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Welcome, everyone. Appreciate you all here. Before I begin, let me just give a shout out to the people who already are in here. Lori, Chandra, Jordan, Noreen, Natika. Did I say that right? Natika, Sherelle, Universal Being, Andre, Carnivore Police, R.A. Mac, Pixie in a Bubble. That's about everyone right now. Hello, welcome everyone. Lucas, who's also in North Chicago. Welcome, neighbor. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Sunday night live stream. Tonight, we're going to be talking about showing up. And showing up works in a lot of ways, but I already appreciate so many of you that are here right now showing up. Many of you don't have to be here. Many of you don't have to listen to this, but my guess is you're here because you're looking for motivation. Maybe you're here because you're looking for inspiration. Maybe because you want to just show up because you're here every week. You enjoy the community, and I appreciate all of you spending some time with me tonight. This is an accountability live stream. This is a place where I will pretty much vomit all of what's happening with me, where I'm at, what I'm thinking. But I also want you to remember that this is a place for you as well. If you are somebody who needs this community, if you are somebody that works better working with other people, knowing that you are not the only one fasting, please share with us all how you're doing in the comments. Here's the thing about showing up. And this is going to be a big topic today, and maybe something that I will start pushing even harder later on. One of the reasons that many of us start to find issues with what we're doing is because we have that all or nothing mentality of I'm either doing it perfectly or I'm not going to do it at all. And when you are in that, I'm not going to do anything, that also involves not showing up. I am that person. I used to be that person that just would not show up because I didn't want to deal with it. I told myself, well, I'm not doing everything I said I was going to do, so why even show up? Why even go walk around the block? Why even go to the gym because I already messed up my fast? Why eat healthy because I already messed up my fast? Why sleep well because I already messed up my fast? Why even respond to emails that are related to work because I didn't even complete my fast? That is how I used to think. Those are the things that I used to do. Showing up means doing a lot of things for yourself, even if you're not feeling it. It doesn't mean that you have to give your 100 and whatever percent every single time, but what it might mean is, hey, you're showing up, you're doing the best you can. You hear it all the time. It's better than nothing. And that's kind of how I see it too. When I talk about the accountability live stream, when I tell people to share how they're feeling or what's going on, this isn't just a place to just brag about, I fasted for this long, I've done this and I've done that. And I'm not saying this in a like, hey, don't be here to brag, because it's not that. We should all be proud of our successes. We should all be supporting each other for those successes. But I also want people to know that I'm here every week, regardless if I do well or not. I show up here every week because I need people to know that, number one, I'm being accountable. Number two, I'm being honest. And number three, whether things are going well for me or not, showing up is the most important thing. Because for me, the moment I decide to walk away, the moment I decide to pretend that, oh, it didn't happen, I'm not going to think about it, I don't want to worry about it, you know what, it doesn't matter, that's when things start to slip. I want you to understand that this isn't, what it means is You want to have a fun weekend? You want to go eat outside of your normal eating routine? That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. What matters though is you are still being mindful about what you're doing. You're still showing up for yourself. It doesn't mean that it's just a complete throwaway day. When people talk about cheat days, sure, if you want to eat whatever you want to eat, that's fine. But can you still put some mindfulness in it? Can that mean at least hitting a timer so you are still being aware of how long you're eating in your eating window? Can you still be mindful about the choices that you make, that you don't end up binging, that you don't end up completely overstuffing yourself where you feel sick? These are the kinds of things that I'm talking about. And even if it came to those things, can that still mean, well, before you go eat, you're going to go ahead and you're going to work out? You are going to make sure that all the work that you need to do is done for the day. My all or nothing thinking has always put me in this place of, if I'm not doing the things that I said I was going to do, then what is the worth of doing anything at all? And that type of thinking has caused me so much trouble in my past. And it is something that I don't want to ever happen again. That's why at this point with what I'm doing, that's why I'm very honest about where my life used to be, what my life looks like now, regardless of what I eat, regardless of what people think about how I fast or how I eat or how I exercise or how I do anything. I would rather be completely honest and transparent about it than pretend that I'm some like expert at health and wellness and my life has been perfect ever since I've started fasting, because it obviously hasn't. I've had a lot of ups and downs. I've had some good stretches and I've had some other stretches like going on a month-long vacation, coming back and not being able to find my rhythm. But did that stop me from showing up? No. I've been here ever since. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is look at every Sunday night live stream. All you have to do is look at every video that I post multiple times a week to be like, hey, I'm here. This is what's going well. This is what isn't. This is where I'm having a difficult time. And so when I tell people to share how they're doing and what things are going on, sometimes it's cathartic. Sometimes that is the missing piece. Just being able to share that piece of information and be like, yeah, I'm struggling. This is tough right now, but you know what? I'm here. I'm showing up. I don't want to walk away from this. I will still do the best I can. I will still absorb whatever I can and learn from it and move on. "77 weeks, everyone." Oh my God, my hair is I need a haircut. I think I'm going to get one tomorrow. I actually have an event I have to go to tomorrow, and I think I need a haircut. 77 weeks, everyone, of doing this. 77 weeks of showing up, of being here. And I can't even continue right now because Wanda just dropped a huge $20 super chat. Wanda, thank you so much for the support. As always, it's so great to see you. Wanda says, I'm 29 hours into a 42-hour fast, down 4 pounds and didn't gain it back in my last refeed. Congratulations, Wanda. I love that for you. I I don't know what your total results are, but you probably have to share that with us soon enough. I love that though. Imperfect consistency is working for me. And you know what? It's working for me as well. And you want to know somebody that continues showing up? It's Wanda. Wanda's here every week, shares her journey, what's going on. And I love that for you, Wanda. Congratulations on getting another fast down, on continuing to lose weight, on practicing imperfect consistency. And Wanda's also a perfect example of this, right? Wanda will come in here and be like, hey, I've done this. I've struggled here. I'm doing well here, but every week shows up regardless. This is what I'm talking about with anybody. Wanda, again, thank you so much for the huge donation. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, now I'm showing everyone's. But this is exactly what I mean. Imperfect consistency, showing up, being here, showing up for yourself, showing up for others, showing up for the community. That's a way to continue learning about yourself and what you're doing. So, as I talk about that, as I talk about me being 77 weeks into my journey, that's 539 days of doing something imperfectly consistent. I have been here now for 77 weeks, practicing fasting, practicing the way I eat. Some days on my refeeds, they're completely blown out of proportion, or they're completely out of control. Not into a binging type way where I'm hiding it, but into like, yeah, I overate today. I stuffed myself today. I'm really full today. I'm falling asleep while I eat right now today. And then some other refeeds have been cleaner. You've seen some of them recently where they're super clean, super strict. But in the end, the only way I've gotten to where I'm at right now is because I continue showing up. I'm here time and time again, learning about myself, working on myself, learning from other people, being inspired by other people. Here's the thing, people find me motivating and inspiring, but you know what I find just as motivating? Working with other people, coaching other people, seeing their success, even seeing people who are struggling, but figuring their way out, learning from their mistakes, moving forward. That's what continues to give me inspiration and motivation to continue what I'm doing. And hopefully you can find that as well. Think about where you would be today if you had done something for 77 weeks straight. If you have been with me since the very beginning, if you were with me back in November 2023, and I always ask this question, but just think about that. If you were there with me back then, I'm actually curious if any of you were with me back then when I first started. Imagine where you'd be if you practiced imperfect consistency for the last 77 weeks. I always bring this example, but even if you told yourself, I'm just going to lose 1 pound a week, I'm going to practice imperfect consistency, I am going to see if I can lose 1 pound a week doing something imperfectly consistent, and look at where you would be today, 77 weeks in. And you know what? Imagine if you weren't with me then. Imagine if you found me 50 weeks ago, if you found me a year ago, 52 pounds down. If you found me 5 months ago, 20 pounds down. Just imagine practicing something imperfectly consistent. Stop worrying about doing things in a perfect way. Stop worrying about all these gatekeepers saying, this is the only way to fast. How dare you drink a diet, whatever. How dare you drink a LaCroix? How dare you have a small amount of calories? Listen, the thing that is going to work for you needs to be consistent. It needs to be sustainable. Do not worry about all these other people that say, this is the way you have to eat. This is the way you have to fast. This is the way you have to exercise. The only thing that is going to work for you is by you showing up, by you doing it, by you doing trial and error. Think about my journey. Think about it. Think about it. My entire life, I have always talked about this. I have been overweight. I've been obese. I've been morbidly obese my entire life. People will always in the past tell me, you just have to cut calories. You just have to eat X amount of times a day. You just have to super exercise this and that and do this and that. Don't eat this. Don't eat that. Nothing ever worked. Nothing ever worked. The only thing that eventually worked for me was doing it my way. And you know what happened when I started to do it my way? Everybody had something to say. You're fasting for how long? How many times? You're eating how many calories? You're eating what? That's what you're eating after you're fasting? That's the wrong way. That's the way you shouldn't do it. Well, shit. Here I am 539 days later in the best shape of my life. My blood work is optimal. I have zero issues. I feel the best that I have ever been, and I'm 44 years old. This is the best I've ever felt in my entire life because I have found what works for me. I have learned to do something that's sustainable and consistent. How did I learn that? When I talk about trial and error just doesn't happen in a day. Trial and error takes weeks, takes months, takes years. Every single day I show up for myself, I continue learning. I learn more about myself. I learn to figure out what works and what doesn't. And you know what? Things that didn't work on day one are certainly now working on day 539. Why? Because I have changed many things about myself. I have evolved into a different person with the way I think and the way I feel about things. Think about what I've done. I spent a week and a half doing strict carnivore. I spent 520 or 530 some days before doing strict carnivore going through an evolution in the way I eat, from eating nothing but fast food because I couldn't even eat vegetables until I was in my 40s. Literally just eating fast food and processed food. And then all of a sudden, adding a salad here and there. And then all of a sudden, starting to add vegetables. Did that happen because I just decided to do it one day? No, that happened because I have learned to change the way I eat. But it doesn't change overnight. Yes, some things we can maybe do things overnight, but will it be sustainable? Can it last forever? It won't. It can't. The only way that's why when people ask me, Jerome, how long should I fast for? Jerome, what should I eat? Jerome, should I do this? Should I do that? Jerome, I want to do exactly what you do. Listen, you can do and attempt all of these things, but the moment you realize that this isn't for you is the moment you will not do it again, is the moment that some of us will walk away from it completely. And I'm telling you right now, you have to figure out what works for you so you don't walk away from it. And if that means giving yourself some grace and saying, I can't tell you how many people come to me and say, Jerome, I want to do what you did. I want to fast for 90 plus hours for 5 months. I want to only eat for 4 hours in that time and then fast for 90 hours. That isn't for everyone. That doesn't work for everyone. Listen, I wouldn't have even done 90-hour fasts if my refeeds weren't 6,000 calories. If I could eat less calories, I would have never done 90-hour fasts. Here's the thing too. I'm not even doing 90-hour fasts anymore. I'm doing 65-hour fasts. Why? Because I have changed over time. I have realized eating vegetables, eating more meat, eating more protein has changed the way I feel about being satiated. I no longer binge. I no longer just eat junk food all day, although there might be some days like that, but the majority of how I refeed now is no longer like that. Why? Because I show up, because I am learning about myself, because I am doing. You will only learn until you do, right? You have to do these things and learn. It's just like learning a skill. When I talk about learning Japanese and me now being almost 5 months of learning it, you don't just learn it overnight. I'm not just going to learn how to speak Japanese practicing it for 24 hours in a day. These are skills that take time. You want to be good at basketball. You want to be good at pottery. You want to be good at, skateboarding, whatever hobby, right? It takes practice. It takes time. It takes showing up. Fasting is no different. And I'm not just talking about fasting. I'm talking about your health and wellness. You can't find success until you start doing. So as I talk about being 77 weeks into my journey, 539 days into my journey, the question I have for you who are here right now is, are you here watching because you told yourself, I'm going to start on Monday? Did you tell yourself, I have a really busy weekend. I'm going out with family or friends, or I have a party to go to. And you know what? I'm going to start afterwards because I'm going to start on Monday. It's a fresh start. Is that you? Are you watching that right now, telling yourself this is a fresh start? If that is you, and this is the first time you've ever done that, well, good luck to you. I want nothing but success for you, right? And hopefully imperfect consistency will get you there. But if you're that person that says, I'm going to start on Monday, I'm going to start on Monday, I'm going to start on Monday. Oh, today's April 27th. I'm going to watch Jerome's stream and I'm going to start on the 1st of May because you know what? It's the 1st. It's a fresh start. Did you tell yourself that on April 1st, March 1st? Did you tell yourself that on January 1st, 2025? How about January 1st, 2024? If that is you and you are repeating the cycle and you are doing the all or nothing type thing, start now. Show up now. Show up today. I don't know why so many of us wait for tomorrow because I'm not one to talk. I've been that person. That was the epitome of me for pretty much my entire life until I just told myself, okay, today's going to be day one. I honestly couldn't have ever imagined that I would have said, hey, it's day 539 today. I really didn't think I'd be here at this point just because I've started over for so many times. And I can say with confidence that I will never start over again because there is no point. It's a ridiculous concept to keep starting over and over and over. Garden with a $10 super chat. Garden, thank you so much for the support. I don't know if I've seen you here before. Garden, thank you so much. Garden says, I did a 106-hour fast last week. Congratulations, and ended my fast on Friday. How was it? Congratulations on 106 hours. I have restarted my fast and plan to complete another 106-hour fast next week. Kudos to you. You have all my support. What dangers do I run into by taking a few days to restart a fast? Garden, I don't think there are any dangers, first of all. Maybe the only thing to be aware of taking a few days in between is, will you find yourself having a hard time getting back into another fast? I guess the other question about this too, Garden, is what does your diet look like during that time? So let's say you're going to take 3 days off after completing a 106-hour fast, right? Does that mean that you're just going to eat all day? Are you still hitting a timer? Are you still being consistent in what you're doing? The thing is, a 106-hour fast is a very difficult fast to do. And for someone to roll into another 100+ hour fast like that is not easy. I mean, like I said, you're talking to someone who averaged a 93-hour fast for 5 months in a row, over and over. So sometimes taking a few days off in between a long fast can be very helpful. But what that might mean for you, Garden, is, and maybe the question here is, how is it for you when it comes to control with food? When you ended your 106-hour fast on a Friday, have you been able to control your refeeds properly? Or have you found yourself losing control? All I'm saying, right, whether that's the case or not, maybe that means just giving yourself a 16-hour fast or an 18-hour fast or even a 14-hour fast, right? Or if you want to give yourself a 20-hour fast or an OMAD, right, at a 23, nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, it doesn't also have to be another 106-hour fast. What it could be is a 36-hour fast, a 42-hour fast like I have done, a 65-hour fast. And I'm not saying that you have to do that. I'm just saying that sometimes it's okay to give yourself grace in between. And even if that means that you don't want to hit a timer, as long as you have control when it comes to your food and how you treat yourself and your health and wellness, then I think you'll be okay. But outside of walking away from what you're doing or completely finding yourself out of control because you can't control the food, those are the only dangers that I can really think of. Sometimes for me, right, that's why I always hit a timer, because for me, hitting a timer will always keep me mindful, regardless of if I'm going on a long fast or if you've seen my videos where I go on vacation. Doesn't matter. I'm still hitting a timer. I'm still being very mindful because I need to make sure that I'm keeping myself in check. But that's what works for me. And so you'll have to keep us posted, Garden, on how the next one goes. I mean, I'd love to hear you tell us you're able to get through another one. So Garden, again, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me go ahead and continue. I'm like looking at my notes and I'm like, did I miss anything? I don't think I have. So let me also adjust the lighting here because it's getting dark now outside. I see the Chicago lights behind me. Why can I not fix my brightness? Okay, that's better, kind of. Okay. So let's talk about where I'm currently at. If I can get the right screen, there we go. 77 weeks, everyone. 539 days into my journey. I have completed 216 fasts in the last 539 days. Like I said, I hit my timer all the time, whether I'm fasting for 120 hours or if I'm fasting for 12 hours. It's still a fast to me. Some people might think, well, that's not a fast. That's just you having some time in between eating. That's a fucking fast. I want people to understand that I hit a timer. It doesn't matter how long that fast is. It's still a fast for me, right? That's an accomplishment for me. That's me being mindful about what I'm doing. And that's what I'm talking about. If you have a weekend and you know you're going to be eating all weekend long, you could at least hit a timer, right? That's the least you can do. Be mindful about it, especially if you're having a hard time controlling how you're eating or the food you're intaking. So in the last 539 days of my journey, I have completed 216 fasts, which also means that in the last 539 days, I have not eaten for 323 of those days. Oh my goodness, we're almost coming up to me not eating for 365 days. That's a lot of time of zero eating in the last 539 days. In the last year and a half or so, I have averaged a 53 and a half hour fast, which is a little over 2 days of a fast on average. I say this every week, but I want people to understand. This doesn't mean that I was just fasting for 53 hours and 33 minutes every single fast. This means on average, I was fasting for 53 hours, meaning that there were some fasts that were in there that were only 13 hours long, 16 hours long. But because I've also fasted for 90 plus hours, 100 and some plus hours, that's why that average is so high at 53. That's why I'm still averaging more than a 2-day fast. Now, the refeed here is 6 hours, 5 hours and 56 minutes. Does that mean that every time I eat, it's only 6 hours long? No. Sometimes they're short. A couple weeks ago or a couple days ago, I had a refeed that was 15 minutes. I've also had refeeds that opened up 12 plus hours. This is just on average about what I've been doing. So I want to actually share with you the accountability for April. And actually, even before I get into that, how is everyone doing for this April accountability challenge? I think I saw a comment at the very beginning before I started the stream that somebody has been on this challenge the entire month of April. I'm curious, if you were on this challenge? And actually, that's a really good question. So if you saw me post on March 31st about this April accountability challenge, did you tell yourself you were going to be in? Did you actually comment on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or Facebook that you were going to be in for the challenge? Because it's April 27th. We are almost coming up to the end of the month. I'm just wondering if you were in back on March 31st and said, I want to join, I want to be in it. Are you still in it? Have you still showed up? And I think the hard thing about these challenges is people look at these challenges and then they assume that the moment they fail to do what they said they were going to do, then they feel like they shouldn't continue. When in fact, it's the complete opposite. That's why it's an accountability challenge. It isn't, I failed, so I don't want to show up anymore. It's an accountability challenge, right? this is an accountability live stream. Whether I do well or whether I have a shitty week, it doesn't mean that I don't show up. It means that I'm being accountable. When I do these accountability challenges, that's all I'm looking for is, can you show up for yourself every single day of the month? Can you show up for yourself without throwing away the day? That's what I'm wondering, is whether it's good or bad, did you show up? Did you try something different? Did you try to pick yourself back up and keep moving? When people don't get through, I'm just going to take a second to talk about this. When people talk about fasting for, let's say you're going to do a 36-hour fast and you don't get a 36-hour fast down. Instead, you get a 22-hour fast down. Does that mean you walked away from it? Because if you did walk away from it, the real question is, a 22-hour fast is still a 22-hour fast. A 22-hour fast is still progress. A 22-hour fast is still a W. Because if you broke early, then what does that mean instead? All that means is, what do you do afterwards? What is the action that happens after a 22-hour fast? After you fast for 22 hours, did you hit your timer again? Did you make sure that you ate maybe a little less because you didn't fast as long? Did you get extra steps in for the day because you knew you broke early and maybe you overate? Maybe you went to the gym and you lifted weights to offset breaking early? Got a good night's sleep? Didn't throw away the day? That's all I'm asking for when it comes to the accountability challenge. So anybody who's watching this, I want you to remember that the next time I put an accountability challenge up, that's all I'm looking for. Can you show up for yourself? Can you let me know in the comments that you're still here, that you're still doing things? Look at what I'm doing. Yes, I know that I am very accomplished when it comes to fasting, but I also am not perfect in what I do. Just look at the way I eat. There aren't many people who eat the way I do. The thing is, I don't hide it anymore. I don't say, well, I don't want to tell you what I ate, guys, because I'm just too embarrassed about it. And you know what? I don't even want to think about it. Instead, I'm just like, no, I ate a lot. I ate 5,000 calories. And as a matter of fact, look at what I ate. You don't believe me? Go look at my videos. I'm very honest about it because it's helpful for me. It shows me that I have a lot to work on still. It literally took me 500 plus days to finally change the way I have eaten, to do something a little more drastic than I normally have. It's taken that long. Imagine if you showed up for yourself and did something imperfectly consistent for that long. Imagine what you could change about yourself. I have worked with people where at the very beginning of their journey, they didn't even know if they'd be able to push a 16 plus hour fast. And I have people who are doing triple the amount. I have people who have maybe not gotten to the point of where they wanted to be fasting wise, but they have learned how to eat better. They have learned to incorporate exercise into their routine. They have learned to be healthier and happier without just fasting in general. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about showing up. This is why I ask people to let me know how they're doing. This isn't just me throwing some shit in the air and just saying, yeah, just comment and like. I don't do that shit. When do I ever ask people to like my videos? I don't. I ask people to comment not because of the engagement or the algorithm. I ask people because I'm genuinely curious is what I was trying to say. I'm genuinely curious in your journey and what you're doing and how you're doing, and hoping that you find success in what you do. Because if you can show accountability, if it's helpful for me to be accountable with people that I work with and people that I coach, when they show up, they realize it's like, yeah, I want to be here. I want to show up because I know if I don't show up for you, then it becomes very hard for me. Think about it. Anybody who's in here right now, think about the times you've told yourself, I'm going to do a 48-hour fast. I'm going to do a 90-hour fast. I'm going to do a 168-hour fast. I'm going to do a week fast. And then think about 20 hours into that fast. If you had no one to be accountable to or for, 20 hours into that fast, you don't want to do it anymore. Who's going to tell you otherwise? Who are you going to be accountable to? No one, right? If that's been you before and you're just like, yeah, I don't want to do it. You know what? Something's coming up. I don't want to hit this timer anymore. There's no accountability. You're not showing up for yourself then. And that's all I'm asking for is if accountability is important to you, show up in the chat, show up in the comments. If you're looking for additional accountability, yeah, you can always book a session with me. We can always have a conversation. I can put you in a place where you're like, yeah, I know Jerome's watching now, so it's going to be a little different. I have to put a little more effort into what I'm doing. That's all I'm talking about when it comes to this. I want people to find success. I want people to find success in the ways I found success, in ways that literally took me 40 plus years to figure out. It took me so long to figure this out. And at this point, I'm just sharing what I can with others, because hopefully the success I found and the ways I've been able to find that success, I don't hide it behind a paywall. I don't tell people sign up for this, buy this thing that I'm on. I don't do that bullshit. All I'm doing is offering my experience to who I can, and to hope that they can use that to their advantage so they can find success in their health and happiness. Because at the end of the day, everyone, the only thing that matters is how healthy and happy we are, right? That's the only thing that matters. You might disagree with me, but I honestly don't think there's anything better in this life than having your health and happiness. Christy. Hi, Christy. Christy with a $10 super chat. Christy, thank you for the support. Christy, it's been a minute. Jerome, I just want to thank you for being so consistent since you started in 2023. Thank you so much. I love your transparency. It inspires me to keep going. Oh my God, I lost 60 pounds. Well, congrats on that. Put on 25, starting again tomorrow. Let's go. Christy, first of all, thank you for being very honest and transparent. I just had this conversation on our Wednesday live stream, and people who are on my Wednesday live streams, they probably know who I'm talking about here. But like, sharing the fact that you've put on weight like this isn't easy, and kudos to you for being so honest about it. And hopefully it is helpful for you to even share that, because it isn't something that most people want to be able to admit or to want to admit. So I love that for you. I love that you're here. I love that you continue to be here because you know it's important to you. So hopefully this motivation and the inspiration from not only me, but from other people in the chat as well, because the one thing I've learned is our community is so great that hopefully it encourages you to get right back on it. So Christy, I love that for you. Christy, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. It's so nice to see you as well. So please keep us posted on your progress moving forward. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Let me get back into my sheets here, right? So as we're talking about imperfect consistency, I also want you to all remember that on the days that I might be imperfectly consistent, there are also times when I'm very consistent. And the month of April has been a very consistent month for me. I said I was going to be doing 10 65-hour fasts for the month of April, and I'm certainly there. I have been doing a 65-hour fast for the entire month. You'll see here 68 hours, 70 hours, 67, 67, 65, 67, 71, 72. Overall, for the entire month of April, I am currently averaging almost a 69-hour fast with a 3-hour refeed. That is that's a lot of consistency there. The thing is, yeah, I might be very consistent fasting wise, but my diet isn't the cleanest. My exercise isn't always the greatest. My sleep isn't always the greatest, but I'm still here. I'm still showing up, and I'm still making sure that even if I am not as consistent in doing other things, I want to show up for myself and still do the other things that I can for myself, even if it isn't the best, that I'm still here doing it. I think I put 69 hours or so, or 68 hours of where I'm currently at fasted. And that's pretty much where I'm at. currently 68 hours and 56 minutes fasted. So almost 69 hours fasted at this point. I'm going to be breaking tonight. So just FYI, everyone, this live stream isn't going to be like 2 hours as it was last week. It's going to be probably half that time. So we're going to move on, and we will do fit check. If you're unfamiliar with what fit check is, that's literally, this is another level of accountability that I do. Fit check is where I will stand back here and show you where I am physically, fit wise, what I look like. And before I get to that, this is where I show people I have been an overweight child, adolescent, teenager, adult, my entire life. In my, not even my preteens, even before that, when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I was already a chubby kid. In my teens, in my 20s, in my 30s, and even well into my 40s. I used to wear, nope, that's a blank slide. I used to wear a double XL adult shirt, an extra large shirt even. And you might think to yourself, well, an extra large isn't that big. But for people who might not be familiar with me, I'm 5'3". If you're not sure about that height, I'm short. Imagine someone 5'3" wearing a double XL shirt. And the only reason I had to wear a double XL shirt was because my gut was so big that anything else would have it hanging over. I used to wear size 38 waist pants, almost a size 40 pants, because my waist was just that big. Currently, this shirt I'm wearing right now is a size extra large, but this is a size extra large boys. The pants I'm currently wearing right now, I can wear a size 28 instead of the size 38 I used to wear, but I'm not even wearing a size 28 pants right now. I'm wearing a size boys 14. And I think there's even a higher boys pants, which is a boys 16. So at this point, I'll show you where I'm at. So yes, this is Fit Check, everyone. Again, this is a size extra large youth. I could probably wear a size large now, but size extra large youth, these are 14 pants here. And these are still kind of loose as well. But front shot, right? Side, back, side. I do wear an undershirt underneath, and you can see I still have, people always ask me about loose skin. Yes, I do have loose skin. I mean, you can see it here. There's loose skin here, right? I do these fit checks because I think they're really important, because I want people to understand that I still show up even if I'm 10 pounds more than where I'm currently at, 20 pounds more than where I'm currently at, because I want to keep letting people know that whether it's good or bad, I show up. I'm accountable. I always want to show up. That's why I'll stand back there. I might feel bloated. I might not want to do it, but I'll do it, because for me, it helps me. It's like, hey, Jerome, you can't let this go too far, because eventually you aren't going to fit into your clothes. You are going to feel a certain type of way. And this is what keeps me on track. As far as my loose skin, like I said, I do have loose skin. Some of the worst loose skin, at least when I say worst, I'm just saying because it's visible, is on my neck here. Here's the thing about, and I've noticed this recently, because I've now done 9 65-hour fasts in a row, I'm starting to lean out. I can see it in my face already. I know that once I hit the 130s, I start to really lean out, and like this skin here is getting like, it's just a lot more, I'm like just picking at it. It's a lot more apparent than it used to be. And maybe you might not see it on camera there, but I can see it in myself. Like I have loose skin here too. Like you can see it, right? It just doesn't bounce back. Yes, I am 44 years old, so maybe it has to do with age, but also it's because I have been almost 100 pounds overweight my entire life. At my heaviest, I used to weigh 235. At my skinniest, I used to weigh 124. Yes, 124 pounds. Jerome, isn't that too light? Actually, I probably was a little too light at that weight then, but at the same time, I'm 5'3", right? I do have loose skin on my upper arms. You'll see it here, right? It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's one of the reasons that I lift weights, right? Lifting weights is very important for me. I feel like if I continue to lift weights, it might help with the loose skin. I do have loose skin on my lower stomach. I do have loose skin on my upper inner thighs. There's not much I can do about it. There are some people who worry about loose skin and say, well, I don't want to lose the weight because loose skin. Listen, I totally get that. I understand that. I understand that loose skin can be, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing, right? And I guess the varying degrees of loose skin is different from person to person. But for me, would I rather have this loose skin that I have here right now and on my upper arms and on my lower stomach? Or would I rather weigh 100 pounds more than where I used to be? I'll take this any day of the week. I reversed my type 2 diabetes. I reversed my high blood pressure. My testosterone levels are back to normal. My blood results are optimal. I have so much energy. Literally, I think I walked for almost 2 hours today. I can walk up a flight of steps and not feel winded. I sleep well. I'm at 44 years old. To say that this is the best shape I've been in my life is an understatement, because I've literally spent decades being completely unhealthy, morbidly obese, type 2 diabetic, uncontrolled blood sugars. I'll take this any day of the week. So, I think honestly, because I want to make this a shorter live stream, that is most of what I wanted to cover today. So at this point, I'll do Q&A. I'm sure you all know what Q&A means, right? Question and answer. So if you have any questions, I want you to ask them now. Please ask them now. I will answer as much as I can. Hopefully all of them if I can. And if there aren't any other questions, that's perfectly fine as well. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting for questions, if you are looking for additional help when it comes to fasting or weight loss, or you need an accountability partner or an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com, and these are all of those things that I provide. I do work with people one-on-one. You and me, we will talk face to face. We will put some accountability on the table. We will plan and put a strategy together. My goal is to help you find your goals. But what I need from you, if you choose to do this, is to show up, is to be here, and I say this example, or I say this to many people I work with. And if I've coached you before, you've probably heard me say this, but when you're doing well and you're doing the things that you say you're going to do, you will show up. You'll show up to the next call. You'll have a conversation with me. You'll be like, Jerome, look at what I've done. Here are the results on the data that I logged out on the spreadsheet. And I love that for you. I want to see you be successful, right? But you know how this works on the other side of things. When you aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you are walking away from things, I won't see any data. And I even wonder if you'll show up to the next call. And I say this to everyone here right now because I think it's very important that the times that you walk away because you aren't doing the things that you said you were going to do is the most important time to show up. Understand that, because if you are showing up when you're doing the things you say you are going to do, what do you need me for? You don't need me. If you are, most of us already know what we have to do, right? You might be watching this and you're like, yeah, if I fast for this long, if I eat this way, if I exercise, if I sleep well, I'm going to lose weight. Of course you will. You're doing things that are healthy and happy for you, right? You don't need me for that. But what you might need me for is that motivation, is to get you back on track, is to figure out when you're having trouble, when you're having issues. How do we get you out of that? How do we get you back into a place of consistency, of imperfect consistency? So, again, if that's something you're looking for, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a session with me. At the same time, if you want to support in a different way, I do have merch. I do offer merch. I offer these stickers, right? Well, actually, it should be that way, right? And I've actually put some of these stickers on my moleskins, so you'll see it here. See it here. You can go there if you want to get stickers, but I also have hats. Oops, and I just dropped my water bottle. I do have hats. You've seen me wear these in the videos. Finally fasting on the side. These are Cubs and White Sox colors, just FYI. They're snapbacks. So if you're looking for that, you can go to finallyfasting.com. It is free shipping if you spend more than $50. And that's my shameless plug when it comes to that. So I will go back and I will answer any questions if you have any. Let me scroll up here and Eric says, Jerome, work out your triceps. I'm trying to. That will tighten up your arms, buddy. Biceps don't put on the size. No, I do. And actually my bicep, this one is actually, it's starting to get better, which is good, but it's still injured. So I've been doing a lot of tricep work. Let me see if there are questions here. Jacob says, do you have a challenge set for the month of May? I haven't thought about doing one yet. Maybe I'll think about it. Jacob, it's nice to see you. It's been a minute, I think, right? I'll think about it though. I'll let you know. Jordan says, did you eat pumpkin pie this refeed? I'm refeeding tonight. If you saw my last refeed, I just put a video out earlier today. I did eat pumpkin pie on my last refeed, FYI. Tonight, though, my goal is to not eat pumpkin pie. My goal is to eat cleaner tonight because my last refeed, I just want to have a cleaner refeed tonight. And then maybe the next refeed will be a little dirtier, but we'll see. We'll see how tonight goes. I don't know yet. I can't predict the future when it comes to that. CreatingTV says, are you doing something similar next month? CreatingTV, actually, I just saw your comment on my newest video. I didn't have time to reply. Like I said, I don't know if I'm doing a challenge for the month of May because, okay, so for people who are in here right now, I'm doing something different in terms of fasting and the way I'm eating. And because of that, the fasting protocol that I do might be very, very different. And I haven't figured that out yet, which is why I don't have anything set for the month of May. Also, I don't do them every single month because sometimes it's hard for me to get the rhythm of putting a video out at a specific time on top of the coaching that I do, on top of the other work that I do for some of my other clients. Because I don't know if you know this, for other people who are here, this isn't just what I do. I also do social media marketing. I also work as a professional photographer. So I also have other work on the side. CreatingTV, though, if you are looking to beat those 40 pounds, if you're looking for extra accountability, if you want some accountability in that way, please feel free to hit me up and let's see if we can do something to get you to where you need to be. I appreciate that. I appreciate that though. Rebecca asks, how's the app going? Rebecca, it's going well. July 1st. So if any of you are wondering what Rebecca's talking about, I'm currently working on my own fasting app. There are a lot of things that I think there's some good fasting apps out there. When mine comes out, it's still going to be very basic, but there's a very big missing piece to some fasting apps that I think is at least for me, ideal. So July 1st should be the launch date of my own fasting app. So look out for that then. Also, I hate the fact that a lot of these fasting apps require you to put a credit card in, require you to pay money. Like, yes, there will probably be like a pay aspect to mine, but not in the way of you have to pay, right? If you want to use it as a timer and solely that and log your fasts, then you can have it to just be that and nothing else. So anyway, that's kind of how it's going. I appreciate the question, Rebecca. Uh, Joy says, what are your best tips for wrapping up a refeed and getting back in a fast? My best tips for wrapping up a refeed, and please, anybody else who has experience or wants to share, please share. But I will share with you what I do when I refeed. For me, and again, this is going to be different from person to person. You will not know what is going to be optimal for you until you start like the trial and error. And it sounds like you probably are. And I'm sure you're just looking for more advice when it comes to this. But I'll tell you what works for me, right? When I first started fasting way back in 2019, I had to do it in a way where I felt satiated. When I talk about satiated, I'm talking about what it took for me to feel like I had everything I wanted to eat. And it didn't mean that I binged. It meant, yes, I overate. It meant that I probably stuffed myself more than most people would, but that's what it took for me. And when I did that, though, it ended up being around 5, 6, 7,000 calories per refeed. But eating that much in that way back then, and even now to an extent, is what made me get back on another fast. It was feeling that contentment, feeling that satiety that was able to make me push again. For you, it might be different. So for me, eating that way, eating to content, eating to satiety is what got me back into another fast. Lately, though, what helps me get back into another fast is eating nutrient dense foods, eating foods that are higher in protein, higher in fiber, because that is what gives me satiety. Now, when I did my carnivore for the week and a half, that was very hard because I wasn't eating. I ate to satiety in a physical way, but mentally it was very hard for me. So that was a new challenge for me. I was still able to get back onto a fast though, because Joy, for me, it's about being accountable. Because I know I have to post publicly on YouTube, because I am always coaching people, because I am always being here and showing up. That is the difference, I think, for many of people that I work with, for myself. And that is why I always tell people, look at accountability as being something that can help you move forward, right? Is maybe it's that accountability piece that you're missing to get you back into what you need to do. So hopefully that's helpful, Joy. Hopefully that's helpful. Aisha says, Jerome, how do you deal with food noise? Any tips? I mean, I've gone through this quite a number of times, but when it comes to food noise, and if you're unfamiliar with food noise is just literally having food on your mind. Maybe you watch something and you're like, oh my God, I wish I could eat. Or you walk outside, you smell food. And listen, everyone, I live literally outside my apartment. I live in a place where there is food all around me. There's a burger place, there's a wing place, there's a rib place, there's a donut place. I'm like, is there an ice cream place by me? But like all those places I just named are literally, oh, there is an ice cream place by me. They're all literally less than a quarter block from me. I live in a very busy part of Chicago, and I literally have everything around me. And when I walk outside to go for my walks, I smell food all day, every day. That is food noise, right? But food noise can be a very mental thing too. How do I deal with it? I think for one, I have just gotten into the habit of when I wake up and I know I'm fasting, it's a non-negotiable day. I've said that many times. I wake up, I'm like, nope, I refed yesterday. Today's a fasting day. There's nothing that is going to change my mind about eating. It is non-negotiable. Today is a day of healing. Today is a day of taking care of the shit I need to do, whether it's work or other social things, right? It is a day where I am taking care of my body, taking care of my health and happiness. When it comes to other ways of dealing with food noise, though, being busy, drinking something other than water to maybe get the boredom out. Sometimes I suggest people trying something like a Diet Coke or a Sprite Zero or a Coke Zero or drinking unsweetened tea or a black coffee, right? Doing something like that. Getting on a routine. For me, waking up in the morning, going for my long walk, lifting weights, it puts me in the right mindset of, yep, I'm working out, I'm burning fat, I'm going to continue fasting. There are so many things. I probably need to make a new video when it comes to that. So that's maybe the best I got, but maybe something I'll revisit in the future. I was looking for that word, revisit. Priceman5, Jerome, have you found yourself being trapped by your goals, making new goals for the sake of the challenge to the point where they interfere with your main goal? How do you stop goal saturation? This is a really good question, Priceman5. I like this question. I don't think I've actually found myself being trapped by my own goals, because maybe this is the best way to put it. The goals that I have set for myself right now are goals that I want to achieve. I want to get leaner. I want to add muscle. I want to be successful as a coach. I want to be successful on YouTube, right? And being an influencer. I want to be successful in not being a shitty influencer who is trying to like peddle stuff all day and telling you you need to buy X, Y, and Z if you want to get to this weight, right? So the goals I have set for myself are true goals, I guess. And I'm not saying that your goals are not, but maybe if you're feeling like you are putting too many goals out for yourself, maybe it's just tackling one goal at a time. Maybe it's tackling milestones instead of ultimate goals, if that makes sense. That might be the best way I can put it. That's a really good question, though, and not something I've really thought of in that deep of a way. But hopefully that's helpful, Priceman5. Let me see here. Have you released yet since doing carnivore? Released? Oh, have I gone to the bathroom? Yes, I have. I was like, released. Yes, I have. I've been able to. So, I'm happy that I've been able to, and hopefully tonight when I refeed, I will as well. So, thank you for that. Okay. I was a little confused. Spike, hey Spike, Jerome, could you make Finally Fasting black t-shirts and hoodies? Just the Finally Fasting logo on the front. You mean this one? Oops. This one? Like this one? Or you're talking about this one? And if you're talking about a shirt, are you just saying like have it like right here? Is that what you mean? Or like right here? Because I have thought about doing something like that. I also have an idea for an imperfect consistency shirt. Listen, everyone, this app that I'm working on, I hate bringing money up, and I hate bringing this stuff to an issue, or, like I'm not the Finally Fasting app I'm working on cost a lot of money. It probably costs a lot more than you probably think it would cost. And that is where all my money has gone, to the point now where I'm in this place where I'm about to pretty much sell everything that I have, because I'm kind of in a bind at the moment. But it's okay, right? I'm not saying this because I'm asking for anything. But I want to work on shirts too. I just don't have the revenue or the capital to start that now. But I love your idea, and I will take that feedback, is what I mean. Thanks for the question, Spike. Andre with a $10 super chat. J-Man, feels good to wait. I'm saying, Andre, thank you for the $10 super chat. Andre says, J-Man, feels good to be with my Finally Fasting fam tonight, and really appreciate you putting together this community of positivity and discipline. Andre, thank you for the kind words as always. I love that you're here. I love that this is helpful for you. And I just love that you're part of the community. So thank you so much. Let's all continue this. We need more of this. I completely agree. Completely agree. Thank you, Andre. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Okay, everyone, I don't know how many more questions I can do here because we're way past the hour. I do want to refeed tonight. It's already 8:45 p.m. Um, Savage Dad has a question here though. I'm wondering if fasting length based on how much you ate before would work. For example, 2,000 clean calories equals a 36-hour fast. 5,000 plus calories with sweets equal. Yes. Savage Dad, no, you're right on point with this. This is honestly, and maybe you heard me say this in the video, would work for you. I mean, if you're asking if this would work for you, the only way that you're going to figure it out is by doing it, right? And honestly, give it a shot. Let me know. This though is exactly what I plan on doing. My plan in the future is to do 42-hour fasts, and if I can keep my calories like maybe around 4,000-ish calories, maybe less than that, I should be okay. Wait, yeah, with a 42-hour. Probably less than that, maybe 3,500. And then if I decide to go out with friends or I overeat or I eat way more than I thought I would, then I push a 65 and then kind of repeat that process. But my hope is that I will start to do more 42-hour fasts than I will 65s. You'll have to keep me posted, Savage Dad. Hopefully I answer that in the way you were asking, because I wasn't sure if that's exactly what you were asking. So, okay, everyone, two more things. One, first of all, there's a $5 super chat. Creating TV says, what can I expect when I sign up for coaching? First of all, Creating TV, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Creating TV says, what can I expect when I sign up for coaching? Like how many check-ins would we have? I'm truly having the toughest time getting back to consistency. Creating TV, if you go to finallyfasting.com, you can sign up for a 5-minute check-in. You can sign up for a 25-minute session, or you can sign up for something that's 50 minutes long. The cadence of that, and I tell people this all the time, is I'm not a salesman. I'm not here to say, you need to sign up for this package. You have to talk to me X amount of times per week. I'm not that kind of coach. I'm here to help you need that help. If you are struggling and you need accountability, then that's up to you. If you need to talk to me once a week, talk to me once a week. If you need to talk to me twice a week, right? If it means 125-minute session plus a 5-minute check-in, then that's what you do. The thing about this is everyone that I work with, anyone that signs up for a coaching session with me gets a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet, and you've maybe heard me talk about this before, but I give everyone a spreadsheet where the moment you put anything into that spreadsheet, I get to see it too. Now, that is accountability on a different level because I will be checking into that spreadsheet. I will be seeing if you're filling it out, if you are holding yourself accountable, if you are hitting the timer, if you are performing cardio, whatever it is that's important for you for the week, right? That is accountability on a different level. And then if you were to book another session a week out, then we get to talk about it. We get to see what you've done well, what has been a struggle, and how we can do things better. We optimize it, right? My goal is to get you to get into your habits, to change what you're doing, to change the way you're thinking. For many people, all we think about is fasting and the number on the scale. And for a lot of us, I want people to think, hey, it's not just about fasting X amount of hours and losing this much amount of weight. It's more the fact that I want you to start changing the habits and what you're doing and start living a healthier and happier life. That's why when I tell people, don't let a type of eating, fasting be your identity, right? Don't let carnivore be your identity. Don't be like, carnivore is the only way and nothing else matters. Fasting is the only way and nothing else matters. What I want people to do is figure out what works for you, right? Like that's exactly all I'm looking for. Because right now you're having a hard time being consistent. Well, let me help you find that consistency. And maybe finding that consistency is finding something that will be sustainable for you. Hopefully that makes sense, Creating TV. I really hope that's helpful in that way. So if you are looking for help, please reach out to me. You can also email me. You don't have to book a session right away. You can email me at hello@jeromeortega.com right there. Or again, if you are looking for to book a session, you can just go to finallyfasting.com and let me know. So appreciate the $5 super chat though, Creating TV. I appreciate that. Also, Nori says hi from Japan. I just have to say hi because I've been Japan is one of my favorite countries to visit. I've been there now multiple times. So konnichiwa. I every day I'm learning Japanese, just FYI. You probably don't care, but I don't know. It's just it's one of the things that I've been doing a lot lately. Okay, everyone, before we sign out of here, I I just saw a comment here. I'm just going to leave that alone. Before we sign out of here, remember, everyone, the number on the scale does not define you. Whether you are 20 pounds overweight, 50 pounds overweight, 100 pounds overweight, whether you're average weight, whether you're where you want to be, the number on the scale is just a number. It should not devalue you. It should not devalue you. It should not make you less of a person, better than someone else. Do not let that scale fuck with your head in that way. Respect yourself, accept yourself, and love yourself for who you are today. It will help you on your journey moving forward. I promise you that. Last thing before we go, everyone, before I refeed, because I am super hungry at this point, I'm currently 69 hours and 28 minutes fasted. I just want you to remember that you are not alone on this journey. Look at everyone talking in chat, working together as a community. Look at what I am doing. I have been doing this for 77 weeks. I have been doing this for a year and a half. I am here every single Sunday. Every single Sunday I am here, unless I tell you otherwise. But 99% of the time I am here on Sunday. I'm only saying this because Mother's Day is coming up and I will not be here on that Sunday. Actually, maybe I will, and I'll do an afternoon chat. I don't know how you guys feel about doing maybe a 1 p.m. chat, but I'm going out to dinner with my mom for Mother's Day on Sunday. So we're not doing a Sunday night live stream then, but just that's a heads up 2 weeks from now. Otherwise, you are not alone. Regardless, you are not alone. Like I said, look at people in chat, look at the community, look at the support, look at all the videos I post. That's me letting you know that you're not alone on this journey. Please do not think that you are doing this by yourself. We're here. The community is here. We're all here for you. Thank you, everyone, for the support today. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for people who supported in that way. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to everyone who has shared their accountability, who has showed up on the live stream. Thank you to my Finally Fasting fam, to the people on my Wednesday night live streams who are part of that group. I appreciate you so much. If you are looking for additional, and I forgot to add that too, if you go to the link in my description, there is a place where you can join the Finally Fasting autophagy live stream. You can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. We have Wednesday night live streams where they're like a communal coaching session. It's a smaller group, but you're free to come in if that's something that might be helpful for you on top of accountability as well. So with that being said, I am going to have my refeed. I will be putting another video out in a couple of days. I will be ending the 30-day challenge for the month of April. I'll have 10 65-hour fasts under my belt, hopefully. I mean, I still have to do this one, so we'll see if that goes according to plan. I'm 99% sure that it will. Otherwise, we will do this again next Sunday, everyone. So I will see you then. Please keep doing what you're doing. Remember, show up for yourself. If you can't show up for yourself, show up for me. Show up on Sunday. Let me know how you're doing. Show up for other people here. I appreciate you all. I feel like I'm slurring my words because I've talked a lot pretty nonstop at this point. So I'll do the official wave and goodbye, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye, everyone. Take care.